What's up, you guys? It's Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfugal News. So I wanted to go live real quick because of some of the information that I just got and one of the calls that I just got. So I normally have not been going live on this channel much. I've been focused on doing the live show, everything else, and but I still stay on my tippy toes if anything happens. Between California and Texas, two places went out, had the power go out for 22 people at the exact same time. So that makes me a little bit concerned. First, Rip Curl actually in our group said, hey, this just went out. There's no storm. It's not because of something. It just, basically the grid just went down there. That was whatever. Got that text. Didn't think anything of it. Then I got a call from a family member saying that this is the second time in a week and a half that our grid has been compromised. So I can't even use the other word. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. This is not to, again, people always say, fear this, fear that. No. People need to have their insurances. They need to be ready for things. And what that means is, say if power did go out, even for a month or for a week, and I know a month sounds long, right? What if it went out for a year? Where would you be at? Where would your family be at? Somebody just called into the live show the other night. She has 5 kids. What would you do in that case? You would have to track down 5 kids if it was during school. We're talking about the Northwest possibly having one of the largest earthquakes humankind has, or at least modern humankind has ever seen. We're talking about the New Madrid having new activity. We're talking about the military preparing to fight in the dark, the military training to fight in tunnels and underground. We're talking about they're about to start one of the biggest drills out in the Pacific, just finishing up on a different one. I mean, there's a lot of things going on right now. They're about to go on this huge UK, Japan, and the US are about to go search for subs. So there's a lot going on. Physically, scientists believe that the world is 2 minutes from midnight. They're not just making that up. They're getting it from real world events that are going on. So it's only logical, it's only smart to have your stuff ready, to have things at least somewhat planned out. Talk to your family, know where you're going to go in the event of a disaster. One thing about a power outage is people won't realize right away what happens. If you are going to bug in or if you're going to bug out, I would do it right away. I would be ready. I would be ready to jump out the door, because if you get stuck in traffic, say it's not an EMP situation and it's just a power grid failure, or they compromise or saboteur the grid like they did in Venezuela, which that's a bit fishy as well. What if that was a practice run? What if that whole place was just one big practice? They say they caught the 2 guys that knocked out the entire thing, right? Or at least that's what Pres Maduro says. Whenever something like that does happen, or maybe it might happen on a smaller scale, maybe 2 or 3 cities get completely knocked out, it would be something that modern day civilization is not ready for. Everything is now dependent on power. People are dependent on power. That's why they say 90% of us would perish in a lights out situation in America. That sounds kind of crazy, right? And people aren't just dying of this, dying of that. They're dying because they don't know what they're doing. They're dying because they don't know how to survive without lights. People would mostly be taking each other out. That's the scary part. A lot of the statistics on that, right, is based on us not knowing what to do and being complete asses about it. So I would say, just having your stuff ready is not crazy. Again, tell your family members you just want insurances. Ask them, do you insure the electronics you buy? Do you insure your wedding ring? Do you insure your house? Do you insure your car? Well, why aren't you insuring yourself for more than 11 days of water or food or whatever? It's just logical. Why aren't people thinking like this? People think, oh, it's the mentality that will never happen to me. It's the mentality, oh, that won't ever happen here. That's the mentality everybody has. And then on the news, they go, I just can't believe it happened here. It happens here. It happens here a lot. And wherever those things are happening, those people are having it here. You know, it's just it bothers me that so many people are so against it, and they think you're nuts if you are insuring yourself against Murphy's Law, basically. If something, you know, something is bound to happen in your lifetime that is going to be an absolute disaster. So why aren't you prepared for it? You should do that as a duty to your family. You should do that as a duty to your neighbors. You should be 10 times as prepared, because you know that most people aren't. We're going to get into the scariest times of our lives in the next 3 years, and people are going to say, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Get yourself to, I mean, like, seriously, what does it take? What does it take to get people to think and to realize? All right, you guys, my live show will be going on tonight. I'm still driving around. I'm going to go right home. So